All right, so in this Power Couple series, we interview a couple who's been together for almost 25 years. They raised 5 kids together. During this whole time, picture this, she becomes an author of 2 separate cookbooks. She also finds a very well-known food blog called The Girl Who Ate Everything, catering to millions. He, meanwhile, becomes an NFL player for Miami Dolphins, setting a record for being one of the most reliable long snappers. What is their secret sauce? How do they raise their children? We ask all of that and more with our interview with Christy and John Denney. So please join us.
How many siblings do you have?
10?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't remember you had a big family.
I'm the 10th.
Last of 10.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like you were forgotten?
No.
No?
My mom was amazing. We all feel like we're the favorite child.
She'd be
Really?
interviewing her mom.
I know.
Yeah. Well, did you know my grandma had 15?
Oh my gosh.
She beat your mom. Really?
Same marriage and everything?
Yeah. Same.
Wow.
They're still like alive and married and together.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
one passed as a child, sadly, but
No,
the
like
rest
your
14.
grandparents.
Right. Yeah. They're doing really well. They're in probably like high 80s. They're almost 90.
They're in Siberia. It's the cold climate.
Yeah.
They've gone through a lot and they're still doing well.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
It's crazy.
But 10 kids for an American family, that's a lot.
Okay.
Did your parents have a lot of kids?
We're 5.
5?
Oh,
Still
5.
not bad.
Everybody has big families.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take it away.
Okay. Go for it.
We have Christy and John today with us. I told this to Christy before. I'm going to repeat it again because everybody needs to hear this. We're in Salt Lake City. We came here and I specifically wanted to interview you because we have a lot of friends here, but you're special and you guys are so special to me. I watch you on social media. Both of you we'll talk about that a little bit more, but both of you have successful careers. Both of you have a bunch of kids. Well, together you have a bunch of kids and somehow you manage it all. And
For
you
an
have
American family, it's a bunch of kids.
True. And you just have like a beautiful family, the way you host people, the way you love on people, the way you manage your relationship. Maybe it's all on social media.
No. We're just living our lives. Yeah.
I'm going to start with an icebreaker because
You can tell I'm like 10.
usually, no, I just was telling Tim, I was like, I'm going to change something up today because I feel like, well, we don't know you well enough, but
Very uncomfortable questions to
Very
get it going.
uncomfortable. I would
do it.
say
And
that.
then we'll have you guys introduce yourselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your story a little bit. So the first question is, who spends more money?
John,
What?
for sure.
Probably do.
On what?
But no, it's not
Prepping
like...
for the end of the world.
No, it's not like
do you usually
I'm not
buy?
spending money on myself, like
No.
shopping, clothes, jewelry. It's like I'm buying stuff for the household. Like,
Okay.
What are you buying?
What do you need?
Like a water
tools?
filter for the whole house. Like it filters the entire
like
house.
water
Like you could drink the toilet
storage,
water.
solar
Stuff like that.
panels.
Okay.
Backup
Things you can live
batteries,
without,
like-
but it makes your life better.
Yeah, I guess it's just like,
Prep stuff.
I don't want to say I'm a doomsday prepper.
He's not a doomsday prepper, but
I'm a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go.
Which their motto is be prepared. And so I always like to have a backup plan. Like, if water's shut off,
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to have some water storage.
Does your house have one of
Or-
those electricity, what do you call them?
generator. We have a generator
for the whole house?
There's a backup generator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're thinking far.
I enjoy shooting, so I have guns.
Okay.
So that might be, I don't know if that's what she was thinking when
That's
she
a
said
good
I
answer.
spend more.
Yeah.
I have spent a good amount of money on guns and ammo.
If there's a package, it's usually his. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on a minute.
I'm not a spender. I don't find fulfillment in things.
If there's a big package,
Then that's.
then it's mine.
Oh,
A
okay.
big
Yeah.
heavy package on the doorstep.
Yeah.
Small packages are
Then that's
the
mine.
most expensive.
Her and the girls are getting clothing
Yeah.
on the
App from
daily, like
Amazon, I mean,
little
yeah.
tiny like envelopes of a shirt or a dress or.
Okay.
So
We have
you
that
probably
problem.
higher quantity packages.
Probably.
Mine are higher cost and quality packages.
Quality. Okay, one other question is like, if somebody was to commit a crime, who would it be?
Definitely John.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I'm a rule follower to a fault. Like if you want to sneak on a water slide at a hotel or whatever after hours, I'm like, no, we're going to
Not
get
because
caught.
I'm a sneaky felon, but because she is so
a rule follower.
straight laced. Yeah.
Oh, so you love the adrenaline.
No, that's
Well,
what I'm
you do have the
What I'm
guns.
saying is because she's is an easy answer because she knows that she would never intentionally break a rule.
Okay.
And I'm kind of like, yeah, if
That's a gray area.
I find more gray areas.
Did you
than she
marry
does.
John because of like the bad boy quality or what? No.
No,
Was he a bad
not
boy?
at all. He had just served a church mission. So when I met him, he was like, I think I was going to go to a Blink 182 concert and he was like, really? I don't know. He was a little judgy.
I went with you.
I know. Then he went with me. So it was fine. But
Prayed after.
we were fetuses when we met. We were like 20 and 19.
Yeah, how old were you? 19?
I was
20?
19, you were 20, and then we dated for a little bit, right? Or
Yeah.
you were 21.
Okay, tell us a little bit about it. Maybe how.
Well,
do you
tell us
wanna-
about you. Okay.
Tell us about you. Yes.
This is
Let's
is
have
the
John start.
Yeah. John, tell us about you.
Like born, raised.
Well,
Yeah, like a short story.
yeah, a little bit of bio and your career, just so
Okay.
people who you are.
So I was born in Colorado, raised north of Denver in Thornton, Colorado. Same house my whole life. I had 4 siblings, 3 brothers, 1 sister. And
You said you were poor, or you guys were
no, we
not
weren't
very
poor.
well?
It was, middle class. Hand-me-downs, my parents were using the same vehicle for 10, 15 years until, they would buy a car and they would drive it until.
Did they work in corporate?
My
how
dad was
it
a
going?
salesman.
Okay.
My mom was stayed at home,
Uh-huh.
which I think is, if you can afford it, is really important for the family.
Mm-hmm.
And we all grew up playing sports, but in order to play sports, because we love sports, my mom said we had to play a musical instrument. So
Oh,
she
wow.
started us all around the age of 5 on the violin.
I heard that you started playing violin at the age
Yeah.
of 5. Is that
Yeah.
Okay.
So as a child, you hate it. And looking back on it, you appreciate it as an adult to have that talent, but you hate all the
What
lessons.
was her
and-
mindset with that? Like, why?
She always said it developed the right side of your brain, the artistic.
they had to be a violin?
No, that was just kind of her starting point because she had a friend, a really good friend that was teaching violin.
Oh, okay.
And so it was like, she started us there and she was like, if you don't like the violin, you can try something else, And my brother, he did like piano and he moved on to the bass and I just stuck with the violin.
Did you play in high school?
Yeah.
You're
so
pretty
I played,
tall. I can imagine.
played in the orchestras throughout junior high and high school.
No way.
In addition to the
Concert
sports.
Master. I was first chair.
That's amazing.
Toot my horn, I guess.
Okay, but was it so? Our son played what he play? Trombone.
trombone.
In school, and he was like, "It's all the weird, geeky kids." Was it like weird because you play sports and then you play violin?
I think that kind of broke that stigma. Is like, wait, he's plays football and does the violin. Even now, people still have that same.
Because we'll play in
Stigma.
church. I play the
Yeah.
viola, so he plays the smaller
Oh, you
instrument.
can also play?
Yes.
Yeah, she's
so he'll
also-
get up with the small little violin, and I have the viola, which is a little bit bigger. And
People
people,
have told me they've seen me walking up with the violin because you're in the audience and
yeah.
to perform the musical number, you'll walk up in front, and they see me walking up, and they think I'm like Christy's little roadie, like bringing her violin.
Right.
I'm gonna set it up for her.
And they like start laughing. They can't believe it. So we played like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a year in church.
That's amazing. I think violin is so beautiful. Do you have like a backup? Like, is there like a music? Do you always have to play with music? I don't understand.
We,
like how
we prefer to play with an accompaniment
Right.
Oh, okay.
to help
But it's so
drown out our errors.
Okay, it's always so beautiful.
Okay. So, your high school, you were in music? In
So yeah, so I
sports?
was playing. I grew up playing soccer, baseball, and basketball
Wow.
for most of my youth, and then in high school I started playing football, and I grew really late, but I was a bigger guy, and so I was playing on the offensive line and liked playing defense as well, and didn't get recruited to a lot of big colleges. I ended up
Right.
going to a junior college in Idaho that was known as Rick's Junior College. It's in Rexburg, Idaho, and I spent a semester there, then left on a 2-year mission where I served in Morristown, New Jersey for my church. I served a mission, came back, played another semester up in Idaho, and did well enough to get an offer here in Utah to play for BYU.
Okay. Yeah.
So I transferred to BYU, played another 4 years here, and then
During that whole time, were your parents expecting something from you, or was that your own will, or what was your drive?
scholarship. I mean, it was kind of like scholarship was the drive. To help my parents, pay for the education. That was the
Oh,
drive.
I see.
And so, my body size catered towards football. Like
6'5", right?
I was 6'3", 6'4" in high school. I ended up growing like another 2 inches when I was serving my mission in New Jersey.
No way.
So I even got taller. And that's kind of where it started. And my father played at BYU. I had an older brother who was
played
playing
too
at BYU.
Right.
Like played football?
Played football.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
There was a legacy there.
Right.
And then that was just kind of.
Did you get recruited after? Did you go for NFL after that? Or?
Yeah, so I had an opportunity. I wasn't drafted, but I was offered as an undrafted free agent. As soon as the draft was over, you have a couple teams call you up.
We should explain this maybe a little bit for the people. So undrafted, what is it?
Yeah, so they have, there's 7 rounds in the NFL draft, but the team has room to bring on, 25, 30 guys in the offseason. So their top 7 picks are drafted. Those players don't really have a say where they go. Like they're told that we're taking you. You're coming to our place. But after those 7 picks, they call you up and it's kind of like they're offering you a tryout. Like, we're still interested in you. You weren't a top 7, but you could still make the team. And so now it's your choice. So whatever teams are calling you, but it's quick. Like your agent is telling you, hey, like they're filling their spots up. And as soon as they're full, you have no choice. So he was there was a short window, maybe 5-10 minutes where he's like, you need a pick.
Oh, wow.
So, quick conversation. Like I'm trying to think.
Were
like,
you married then?
We were married. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So I'm thinking, I'm trying to play my cards right. Like, what's the best strategic location for me? Like, what's my competition going to look like? What are the current players there? Who am I going to be competing against?
Were you going at that time for defense?
Yeah. So I was playing defensive end at that time. And when I asked her, I'm like, hey, do you want to go? Buffalo is calling, Detroit, Miami. She's like, Miami.
She's like, I don't care about the strategy.
Yeah, it was more like
Warm beach.
Okay.
Oh my god.
and that also happened to be kind of where I was leaning anyway. And so that made it easier to pull the trigger on Miami. And
at what point did you guys get married?
About a year after his church mission. So he was at a junior college. So, yeah. And I was at BYU and he was just visiting for the summer. So
I was down training with my older brother in the summertime at BYU.
Oh, okay.
When I met her.
We met in the hot tub.
We'll get to that in just a moment.
Met in the hot tub, and my roommate was like, "You guys are going to cook us dinner tonight," and he's like, "Okay."
Well, my best friend, who I was staying with during the summer, already knew Christy and her roommates because they had lived next to each other in the previous apartments that they lived at.
This was at college.
At college. So they they already had a relationship. So they saw them at the pool and they were like, he was telling them about a fishing trip that he just caught a bunch of fish, and her roommate was like, when you gonna cook us dinner? We're coming over
tonight.
I love it.
Yeah.
Are you still friends with the roommate?
Yeah.
And you stay with Dolphins forever, the whole time.
14 years.
14 really lucky,
seasons.
With free agency, and the average career is like 3 years and change.
Wow.
And
That's
then,
crazy.
so one, to play longer than that, but also to play for one team my entire career was a rarity. I got really lucky.
I actually read somewhere that you were at one time before you left, you're like one of the oldest right people in NFL.
I mean, I'll brag for him. He
Active.
has the record for the most consecutive games played.
Yeah.
In Miami. So
That's
it's like
something. That's commitment.
225.
It was 14 seasons times 16 games.
Yeah.
What's 14 times 16?
No one knows.
That's a lot.
220 something, 24.
That's amazing.
Okay, so that was was that a year or two after that you were signed with Miami Dolphins after you got married, or
No, we were married before. It was like 3
senior-
years after.
We were married in college.
Yeah.
so a year or two after marriage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it common for people to get married so young in BYU, or they wait to graduate?
Yes.
Yeah, we were old. We were 21 and 22. We were so old.
That was considered old in BYU?
That's pretty
It's
normal.
common.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
because
common
we got
for-
married at 19 and 20.
Oh my gosh.
So we were
Do
very
people
young.
think that's crazy?
Well,
Not in our culture.
American people think it's
Yes.
crazy, but in Slavic culture, it's very, very normal. My sister told me at 19, I wasn't dating anybody. Like I was like one of those like I'm only going to date one guy. I'm going to marry him. Actually, we kissed for the first time at the altar.
No
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
The only boy I ever kissed and at the altar. Same for him.
Yeah.
And
Well,
but my sister was like, you need to date because
I
you're
don't
getting old.
expect that for
I'm
my
19.
kids, but yeah. Okay, so a few years into it, you had
No, let's talk about her
John's career
childhood.
going. Yes. Let's start from your childhood.
Okay.
I'm curious when that career for you took
Well,
off.
I'm the youngest of 10 kids, and I know that's a lot of kids. But it really defines me as who I am because I had to work for everything. Like no one was going to give me anything. So I was super scrappy. And every one of my siblings has like a very unique job and personality. So I kind of felt like, well, what's my thing? So I didn't really know like that I loved cooking or anything until later in life. So where do we go from there? I met John.
Right.
In college.
In
What did you
college.
study in college?
Computer science. I was a programmer.
What?
You were a programmer?
Did you build your own website?
I have done that. I'm rusty, so I just break my website now. I just go in there. I'm like, I can do this, and then I break it. But I know enough to do some things, which is nice.
Wow,
But yeah, so I never would have thought that food blogging was even a thing because when I went into it, it really wasn't.
yeah.
So I like love food so much, and then I programmed. So it was kind of this happy marriage of both of them.
Yeah.
This crazy. I mean, who would have known? You know.
It's cool. So for us, it's like I do the coding and she does
You're a
the
coder?
cooking.
Yeah. He's the
That's-
programmer.
Yeah.
I did not
So,
know that.
Speak the same way.
I know.
One's
Which
easier.
I don't speak.
Yeah, I could ask
I'll
all
be
the technical
lost.
stuff like what languages.
there
but
were only
that's
like
it.
4 girls in my major. They called us the permutations because it was like Christy, Kristen, Kirsten, and Christy.
That's
so funny.
hilarious.
It was crazy.
Did you ever go into your like career job?
As a coder or no?
Yeah, you
Yes,
went
I did for a few years, forensic software.
Oh,
And then I
wow.
had babies, so I stopped. I tried doing it out from
So
home.
you,
It's
you don't
hard.
code on the like the web, which is you just like C.
I do Java, C++. I do HTML, but I'm not great at it. But yeah.
That's
Why did you
something.
pick that
That's-
career? That's so
My,
random.
well, my brother was older and he had kind of done that as well. And he's like, well, what do you like? I'm like, I like math, but I don't really want to be like a math teacher. And he's like, do programming. But now Chat GPT is taking over all those jobs, right? Do you feel like that? My nephew
debatable.
said, you still code by hand? I just tell Chat GPT to write me a program.
I subscribe to that very expensive Claude plan where it codes. It's like a fifth grader with Google trying to code for me. It's just they know a lot of
But it
information,
speeds
but
up
they
your
don't know
job.
how to use it. Yes, and also a lot of bugs. So it's not going to take away my job anytime soon.
Oh, serious?
Okay.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, no,
Good to know.
it's still
Maybe like basic stuff.
yeah.
Okay, so then I want to know, like, at what point did you guys have kids? Like, so you tell us more about you. Like,
So we were married probably 4 or 5 years. We started having kids and it didn't happen. We're like, wait,
Right.
do we know how to do this? Are we doing this right? Just kidding.
Right.
But we ended up, started the infertility process and then
wow.
it just happened. So, and then we had, so I think we'd been married 5 years when we had our first son.
that was in Miami already.
No, it was in Utah, in Provo. And then
Okay.
we had another son. And then after that, we went to Miami. So we had 2 kids before we went to Miami.
Oh, I
She
see.
graduated before me.
Oh, okay.
Started working at the
Sorry, that's
forensic
not true.
software company.
Yeah, we had 1 kid before. But
and then she had
Oh, I
gotten
see.
pregnant with
Yeah.
our first
Oh, okay.
during
Were
my
you going-
senior year.
Were you attending college while married?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I know.
Your early years were.
I know, crazy, right?
Okay.
It didn't seem
Okay,
crazy.
but like he has this hot career of. Sorry, I'm gonna call it hot career because I
Hot
think
or hard?
hot because I feel like everybody thinks like a football player is a hot career or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like I just feel like that's my assumption as an
Yeah.
immigrant, but that's what I've seen. And you have babies, and you guys moved to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
How was that to you? Like as a mom, as like
Yeah, I definitely had like preconceived notions of the NFL, like that girls are just like throwing their underwear at my husband after practice, and I'm sure that happens, but that's not the
Well,
reality
she
of
was
it.
living in Arizona for my first
Oh,
training
wow.
camp. So I'm
Just for-
basically trying out. I haven't made the
Yeah.
Oh,
team.
you're not
so
on the team.
He
You're
didn't
not
have a
playing
house.
yet.
we're
You're
not
Yeah,
not supposed to girls yet.
relocating.
Right.
She's back at her parents' house with our first son, our first kid, and I'm trying out. And during that tryout, there's a lot of charity events and social events
Yeah.
that they're mandatory that the rookies
Yeah.
have to go help and participate in. And she would, I would talk to her in the evening. So, what'd you do today? Well, we went and did this charity event, and she knows that the cheerleaders would go with us.
know.
And so it was just like, she just thinks that all the players are just having
The
a
best time of
party
their
with
life.
the cheerleaders every night.
Right. So once I got out there, I like realized, okay, it's not like that.
Were you guys arguing over that?
No, I mean, I was probably the heaviest I was ever in my life. So
Were we
I was
arguing
like,
about-
"Rah," you know, and
you
then
said-
I'm
hold
like
on, she
thinking
said
it's
no.
with the cheerleaders. Just who knows? I don't even know.
Yes, we did argue about that.
Yeah.
You
but
said no, but
I
the
think it was
answer
a
is
little,
yes.
yeah. But
It
I
was.
realized it
I'm
wasn't
just
like
thinking
that.
about like you're saying you were the heaviest. When I had boys, like I was 205 pounds
Yeah,
at the
I
end
was
of
same,
pregnancy.
close.
I was massive. I was probably the most insecure.
Yeah.
When like I had like just had kids. If my husband was going hanging out with cheerleaders,
Yeah.
I would probably like, what
It
the
would
heck?
test the trust limits for
Yeah.
I would
sure.
have a hard time. So
Right.
like, how
I
did you
mean-
deal with that?
But I wasn't hanging out with cheerleaders.
We're not saying that
Let's clarify. We were at the same function, but it was
Right.
they're doing their thing
Did you have the biggest
and
ring
we're
on?
doing our thing.
Could you even wear a ring to football games?
No,
No.
that's why I actually don't have one on now
Oh
because
my
I just
gosh.
not because I'm trying to hide my status.
No, Tim wears.
I'll
we
get you
wear
one
ring.
of the. I have a bunch of those Amazon. Well, I have,
I have
the plastic
metal
ones.
one.
I have
Yeah.
the rubber ones.
Yeah.
I go through them
We're
so
working out.
quick because
They rip.
they tear off easy
Yeah.
but that's why, because the other rings if you're lifting weights or you're playing with
Yeah.
your hands, you can't. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen people that get degloved, like where they
Yeah.
get their
Oh,
flesh.
let's
stripped
not
off.
know that.
So that's why I've gotten in a habit. I don't have a ring. My wedding ring is in a safe, but I have a rubber one when it's not broken.
Let's say this. Okay, so I have 10 siblings. 6 out of the 10 are divorced.
Oh wow.
So I do think anytime there's a repetition or a pattern like that, you do have to look at it and be like, what's happening? So us getting married at 21 and 22, I was not going into that with naive eyes. I was going into that with years of looking at my siblings and like how that went wrong and what they went through or how they treated each other. And so I saw that and I wanted to learn from that. And so I think going into marriage, I really knew it took a lot of time and it took a lot of devotion to each other and putting each other first. So when he went to Miami, I wouldn't say I was insecure, but I did have a lot of men in my life that showed poor behavior, like my whole childhood. So I assumed he was the same, right? Just not assumed, but like, oh, you better watch for this and make sure he's not lying about this. And then I think probably like 2 years into our marriage, I remember one time he had forgotten his ring at home when we were first married. And it was just like a trigger because I'm like, oh, he's like every other guy I've ever known. And then I finally learned like, he's not that guy. He's not that guy. His moral like compass is so straight. And so in the NFL, you can totally choose that path.
Yeah.
You can go to the clubs with the guys after work or you can go home to your family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
a choice and it's your priority.
Right.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I think I had a family. Like I was married and I had kids. So a lot of guys who are entering the league, they're the NFL, they're single.
Yeah.
Of course.
Single, red, and
Oh, a lot of them want
So
to be single.
There's no
Right.
there's no draw to come back home to your family. For me,
Yeah.
I had a newborn kid and my wife. So when practice was over, I wanted to go home because I
Yeah.
had something there for me.
Yeah.
Whereas there was
Yeah.
nothing home for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was easier to go.
That's
Get
a
the
big
same.
commitment. I'm saying a lot of them single because you see that some, once they get drafted or picked, they divorce. Like I have options now. I don't want to name names, but and so there has to be, that lot of trust. Like, hey, I have a family. That means a lot. I'm coming back home.
I think a lot of it, what you said about looking at your siblings, because I'm the youngest out of 5. So not out of 10, but out of 5. And I would always watch my siblings. One of the reasons why I wanted to keep my kiss for the wedding day, because I was like, I'm not going to be like my sisters.
Yeah. Ooh,
like,
tell
I'll
us more
prove
what they
them
do.
It's like,
I didn't do anything bad, but I feel like they dated more than I did. And I was like, I'm only going to date one guy. I'm going
Yeah.
to marry that guy. Like, it was like, you always compare because you just want to do better.
Right.
I don't know why, but I just wanted to be better. Like,
Yeah.
it was that competition within the family. So it makes sense. Was it like, you look at your sisters, you saw mistakes. At what point do you guys reunite together and go to Miami?
Well,
And what point does your blog start? Because then you started
okay.
your whole
yeah, I
career.
want to get to your blog.
that's a great question. So in 2008, so we were in Miami probably 3 years. My sister died just out of the blue.
Oh, wow.
Just a blood clot in her lungs, and no one saw it coming. And so all my family's from back west, like Arizona, and they were all together just grieving together. And I was, you know, his first big loss in my life. Since then,
Right.
we've had a few losses. I know we've all lost our dads, right?
Right. Yeah.
But that was the first one, and it kind of like rocked our world. And
She was young.
She was young. She was 35. She had a kid. She was married.
Wow.
And so I just like, I was not dealing well. I was not coping well. And I made this pie that like we always ate together at Thanksgiving, this cherry cheese pie. And my sisters, we'd like sit in the corner and like eat it with a fork. They weren't allowed to have, no one else was allowed to have it because they didn't appreciate it. So I made that. And it was the first time that I felt any ounce of comfort after that loss. Cause I just felt like I was like close to her.
Right.
And I was like, that's when people had kind of asked me for recipes over the years. And I'm like, I want to start a blog and like create recipes that people connect to like that and that become part of their Thanksgiving traditions and become part of their closeness to each other. So,
Wow.
And having the computer programming background,
Probably helps.
she just told the family, hey, everyone send me, she was going to gather up all the recipes and I'll digitize it. So everyone, I mean, back then,
Right.
I mean, the internet was new, crazy as that sounds.
I used to program my own ads, like waterfall.
wow.
Yeah. Like it was crazy. So now we have ad companies, but yeah.
I mean, I feel like
That was
before
when
the
it was early.
bloggers, I mean, a lot of the recipes were there's just a couple big websites that
Yeah.
just like they're not really even personalized. They're just very generic.
When we got married in 2005, Rachel Cooks. That was like my
She was
go-to-
around? Rachel Cooks?
Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, that's the blog name. No, Rachel Ray. Oh my gosh.
I'm like, oh, I know Rachel Cooks.
I know
what I was
Rachel too.
thinking.
Sorry. That's why she came in my mind. Rachel, I'm really bad with names. Rachel Ray. I used to watch her all the time. And I was like, I want to be like Rachel Ray.
Yeah.
Like, but she would like the measurements, all this. It was a lot. Like I was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like in 2005, like there was no resources.
When did you guys start yours?
11
11. Oh, so you were early.
on Facebook.
Right, but it
Yeah.
wasn't monetized. It was more out of love. For so many years, she just wanted to help people.
We
That's
started.
it.
My thing was like I want to give back to moms. That's why it was Mom's Dish. So I always said that we will never monetize it until 2018.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
so
held
we
out
didn't.
a long time.
We didn't
Yeah.
monetize it, but then I realized in order to make it really good, I have to leave my job and like really dedicate my life to it. And in order for me to leave my job, I need to still make money. So that was when we monetized it, and I felt like we could make it much better if we monetized it. That was the main reason. But I mean, like it turned into a business for sure.
For sure. For sure.
She never had the intent. It was
No.
it was not a business.
Yeah.
She was just
For
consolidating
family.
recipes for family to use online. That
Did
was
you
it.
share this story anywhere about your sister?
I have. Yeah. When I did my cookbook, I mean, they asked,
okay.
like, that's kind of why I started the whole blog. But
I think you need to do a video about that. It's so special.
so I do like to talk about it, but I also want to keep it sacred because I feel like when I talk about it a ton that it kind of
Yeah.
takes away the not takes away the meaning, but I don't want it just to be like
It's not as
Throw it
special.
out
overplayed.
there.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But then what point does the blog take off? Like,
So I think my friends started making money and I wasn't going to monetize it, but John's like, why not?
She started to pick up a little traffic, and I was like, "Hey, if you put ads on there, you can make like a couple $100."
Yeah.
She
was
like,
this while you were still playing?
Yeah, for sure.
And she was like, "That's not." She felt like a sellout. She's like, "I'm not a sellout. That's not why I started it. I don't care. Like, I'm not interested." I kept bugging her. I don't know why you eventually tried it.
I don't know. But
That was what year?
that
What did you-
was, I think I monetized it 2011. It was like 3 years later.
2000.
I started
11?
2008.
She got
I was
in on
like,
accident. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it was like not.
Yeah.
She wasn't creating this blog and this business. It was like I'm just going. So she had the blog. Everyone's doing the blog spot, and
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
partly
you
why
remember
she's so successful is because she has the like tenure.
Yeah.
Like her website's been around so long on accident, not as a business, but
Yeah, 2008.
sense.
That's,
So-
you're definitely one of the first ones.
Yeah.
Very first
Yeah, there are a
ones.
few before me, but yeah.
That's
So,
amazing.
It is amazing.
So when did it turn into like from just a couple $100s to like a full-on business?
It actually grew pretty quickly. I was like, oh, I can make like good money. So it grew pretty quickly. And like for me, success is growing every year. But I don't know. What's your definition of success? I think that's interesting.
Well, I mean, at what point did you feel like I kind of made it? We don't need to rely on just his career. Like, let's say he stops, and like, at what
Right.
point did you feel like, okay, we can maybe leave Miami and go be with my family, or I don't know.
I don't know. He never stopped playing, so I don't know.
I did.
Been playing for a long time.
I'm just kidding.
5 years ago.
5 years ago, he
when I
stopped
stopped
playing.
playing.
So you played for 15 years, and I My blog's almost 16 years old. So yeah, we're kind of the same.
Hand in
Okay, I
hand.
I would
That's
say
amazing.
maybe
2014, maybe
7
years in.
years ago
No.
when you were like
You were doing well.
like my career was irrelevant.
Oh,
like
it's
you
true.
were
Yeah, not more than your career. That sounds bad, but
no, but it was substantial enough that like
Yeah.
without my career she
we could maintain
maintain
our
the
house
household.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Your
You know.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Maybe 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Did you have help? Like, what did your life
No.
look like?
Oh, my life was crazy.
Okay, so tell
I
me
wish
about
I
your
had. I
marriage,
should
your
show you.
kids, your
So,
business. How does
I
that
had
look
5
like?
kids. I did my first cookbook. I had 5 kids under the age of 8. So just imagine that.
What?
And I had postpartum on my last kid for some random reason. I don't know why. I never had it before. So that was really hard. But I will say that half the year from like August till July, end of July till January, he's gone, right? He not gone, but he's playing football.
Wait, so say it again. From when?
So from July 31st
Okay.
to January 1st.
Okay,
He's doing
that's all.
football, and it's like you miss a meeting, it's a $10,000 fine. You're late to a meeting, it's $10,000. Like
Oh, wow.
there is no like, oh, come help me with the kids. Oh, the kid's sick.
He was like literally not home.
Right. He wasn't home, and I tried to provide an environment that he could just mentally, because it's a lot of mental stress. Like he
Yeah.
could come home, and yes, the kids are crazy, but I have dinner. You know, I'm trying to make it
As homey as possible.
yes, like a respite from all his hard work.
Right.
And then from January to end of July, it was like if I wanted to go on a blog trip, he was all like, "Or you want to do a cookbook? I got it. Like you do all you can.
So
I'll
he was
help with the
supporting
kids."
you
Yeah.
during that
How
time.
was your schedule? So, John, like I guess January to July. I mean, did you still have to show up for practice, or how was it?
There was off season training,
Okay.
but it was a couple hours like in the morning.
Okay. So you were somewhat
was
flexible there. And
Totally
you didn't-
flexible.
okay.
And
You were in
he
Utah during like that time.
no, we
We
stayed in Miami.
in Miami.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
We stayed in Miami. And I will say a lot of the wives, it was super hard for them to make that transition because they're used to the guys being gone. And then they come home and they're like, why are you here?
Right.
I'm doing this. What are you doing? And they were kind of like, you got to go play golf or something. They're not used to it, but
They're
like
not.
we like each other. So we were okay with it, but it is, a little bit of a transition.
What's your love language?
Ooh, what is it?
These chocolate.
Stop.
Really?
I would say quality time. Like for anniversaries, we don't really do gifts. So we're like, let's go do something together. Let's
That's
go,
like
experience
that.
something new.
Right. Extra experience. Yeah.
Right?
So when he's
Physical
playing,
touch are all men's physical touch, right?
I mean,
most probably.
He's like, yes.
yeah, I'm like half a year away from family. I would.
That's what I was wondering. Like your love language is time together. How did you maintain your marriage during this time? I kind of
That
want to
is
know
hard.
about that.
I just
Yeah.
cannot imagine. Like,
I mean, you guys remember when your kids are young, it's like
Yeah.
you can't
You're
even get a
surviving.
word in. You can't even get a word in like when they're around. So like we were very religious about date night.
yeah.
Don't
That's
you think?
amazing.
What else helped us stay together?
No, you were very good about like it was really important to Christy that we got out. Like
Yeah.
get a babysitter and Friday or Saturday we're going out. And
It's
and
probably
just
for her
that-
too. She's like, I'm done
Right,
with this
totally.
kid.
And also seeing what my siblings like, just you have to put time into it. It can't be not your priority. Like success to me is like for me success because people ask, what does that mean to you? Because I remember meeting other bloggers and they're making more money than me or whatever, and I'm like, oh, if I just like worked harder, maybe I could make more. But to me, I make a good income, but I also like have time for my family because I have some bloggers that are like, I don't even see my kids. And I'm like, huh? I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
And that's like from the NFL, I think like probably the number one takeaway I took from that was you have guys that are making really good money and their home lives are awful.
Yeah.
They're divorced or they just, their kids don't like them. And it's like money is not success. Like if you don't have your family and your home and your priorities, what do you have? Like who are you sharing this with, this life that you've built just for money? You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
You have to be really selfless, and that's what Christy's like. One of her biggest characteristics is that she's just give and give and give, almost to a fault. That she doesn't like to accept help. She's a stingy receiver,
No,
which it kind of can be frustrating for me. But but she didn't, like you asked earlier, like if she had help throughout.
Yeah.
No.
No, she didn't have like a nanny or anyone helping her. And I was pulling up a
really?
picture. I got some of my favorite pictures.
Not that there's anything like for some people that works, but yeah.
Well, no, but she never missed a single home game. She didn't travel to the away games, obviously with the kids. That was crazy. But with the kids in tow, she missed one home game. And that's because it was like the day after she had our fifth baby.
I was in the
So
C-section in the
she gets a
hospital.
pass.
Yeah,
I'll let that one slide.
That's
But you can
amazing.
just see, I mean, I want to show you these photos of,
Can they see it though? I mean,
well, just you guys,
Yeah.
like with all the kids in tow there.
Oh,
she's
that is so
just
cool.
draped with babies and like
well, you know how
children are crying and she's in the stands. And I loved that. She
that
was
is
always there with
cool.
the kids.
one's asleep on my
me.
lap, the other one has to go to the bathroom. You're like, oh my god.
She was with you through like as
Yeah.
much as
And so
possible.
that is like, I mean, as a father and an athlete, I think that might be the apex of what you're doing is being able to do it and have your family there in the stands supporting you every single, home game.
right.
This
So that's
is
huge.
so
Like
sweet.
that's not easy to do. That is that is quite the sacrifice. And so that, I mean,
Right. You
those
felt
pictures
support.
I wanted to show you just because I
Yeah.
feel like that sums up
Right.
her just endless giving.
Yeah.
And it has to be reciprocated.
It does. Otherwise,
can't-
in relationships, I mean, you
can see
can. I always have his needs like in my mind, like. But if you're not both doing that, then it doesn't work.
It's interesting because
Yeah.
I see so many families getting destroyed from like somebody being deployed to military for half a year or a year. Then they come back. Sorry, we don't know each other. Or I actually, fun fact, used to drive a truck for 3 months, and so happy I quit.
Before he got married.
Before we got married. But I see so many like this long haul. These like a.
Truckers.
Yeah, truckers like a week out or a week later they come back and the wife's like, I don't know who you are, or like she has a whole different relationship during that time with her friends.
Well, John still came home every day. That's different.
Right.
Except for away games, but yeah, that was just a weekend.
But
Yeah.
it's just like, obviously that half a year was so difficult. So separating, but yet you guys made the most of it. You were there, on all the games and obviously that was a big support.
So when did you work? Like you had 5 little kids.
my
You were
gosh.
supporting your husband's career.
At night, I'm a night owl.
Okay.
Don't
Me
night
too.
shame me because I love the night. That's when I'm creative. So
All the coders.
I would shoot during the day or like make recipes, and it was crazy. Don't get me wrong with all the kids, but it's a lot easier now. You guys work together all the time, and
Yeah,
you
all
love
of our marriage.
You guys love
Our
each
marriage.
other.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we see each other.
I can
every day.
tell because I don't think most couples could work together and like truly. No, I don't think they could. I think that's rare.
I think that's the only thing we know though. Like I don't think
Really?
we can work without each other. So at the beginning of our marriage, we did insurance together for like 5 or 6 years. And then at one point we stopped and he got a job in Seattle corporate office. I was so lonely at home. I got a job in Seattle corporate office. Different job.
Across the street.
Different office, but we're carpooling together.
Yeah.
So I think it's like that's all we knew. Like it's all of our marriage. So I don't think we can work without each other.
Yeah, I know. But I can't imagine
But we
just.
bicker.
Well, everyone does, right? But
Yeah.
I can tell, like, just from the times we spent with you guys enjoy each other. Like, you're
Yeah.
best friends.
We do.
Yeah,
Like
we are.
yesterday,
Is that
we
true?
went. Yeah, yesterday we went out for a walk, and I mean, it does feel lonely not having kids because they always have everything going on in school, and we always talk about anywhere from girlfriends and all that stuff, and they're not there, so it's a lot more quieter. And so, but we still enjoy each other's
We
company.
goof around. Like, I
we
feel
still, we still laugh at each other's stupid jokes. Okay, and I think that means a lot.
Yeah. it
Do you have the
does.
same hobbies or different?
No,
No,
we're so
very
different.
different.
We're
But,
crazy.
Like I'm totally not into politics. He'll tell you everything.
no,
Like,
not
I'm-
politics.
Should
Like,
we start that?
I'm
Should we
just
go
like-
there? Just kidding.
You're good interviewer.
Yeah.
Tables have turned to
Not that. I am, like I love science, love techie stuff. I love
Sometimes he'll be like,
techie.
I wish you understood some of this stuff. I'm like,
But don't you think it's just willing to, like, maybe listen to it or to try? Like, I'm not a great golfer, but I'll go with him. I'm like, just being willing to, like, try it out. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I always listen to her vacations. She won't listen to my.
Yeah.
You enjoy them too. So don't complain.
I learned to enjoy them. Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
you
bad.
poor thing, suffering on vacation.
Oh, suffering.
I learned to enjoy
But I do feel like at our
vacations.
age, so most of our friends have been married around the same time,
Yeah.
20 to 23 years, 24 years. And that's when the kids are like leaving. And so now we've seen a lot of our friends, their relationships are like,
Oh yeah.
I don't even enjoy you. Like, I don't even know who you are. So it's like, I do feel like you have to, even though you have kids at home, you have to put the time into
I mean,
it.
in the last 2 months, I feel like 5 different couples close to us
Yes.
divorced.
Oh my
'Cause
gosh,
the
we're
kids
going
grew
through
up
the same thing.
And yeah.
Okay, so what do you think the secret sauce is? Like, what would you recommend to somebody that's like in the thick of it? Like little kids,
Yeah.
busy careers, broke. You guys,
I feel like little kids it's a phase you have to like power through. It's going to be rough.
See, yesterday you were saying you're missing kids. That's exactly what I'm
So
talking
there's phases. Like
Yeah.
you have your honeymoon phase, which speaks for itself.
It's very short-lived.
I mean,
poor
but
thing.
then once the kids start coming, there's a grind that feels like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
never going to end. But you also, like we said before, you have to schedule time for each other in the midst of that. Even though it may not be as frequent as you want, it'll get better. Like the kids become more self-reliant and they can feed themselves and get themselves in and out of the car. And then they can start watching each other and you can go on more and more dates. So it ebbs and flows. So there's times where you just have to grind through, but also I think, like she was saying earlier, having common interests, trying to find something that you enjoy doing together.
So you were still a full
Yeah.
stay-home mom.
Yeah.
But
What was nice about her business is that it kind of grew perfectly with her.
Well, yeah, it's
Because it
true.
was slow and it wasn't as much when the kids were younger.
Yeah.
And then as they got older and more self-reliant, the business was growing so she could give more time to it because they were away.
That's
school.
impressive because I still find myself like on our food blog, working sometimes. I mean, sometimes I take it a little easier, but sometimes it's like 80-hour week.
Mm-hmm.
And
sometimes because we choose to travel more. We travel a lot,
no, but
and then we have to hustle.
like
in
if you
between.
want things to grow, especially, you have to work a lot.
You do.
So it's-
Yeah.
And I feel like because mine's so old that the growth has been like, I see people coming in 2019 and 20 and they are just hustling.
Yeah.
Like you said, 80-hour weeks. And
Yeah.
I don't have to do that because I've done it like
Early on.
over all of the last 10, 15 years slowly. You know what I mean? I have all this content.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually don't need more. I always want more content.
She's
But yeah.
wanted to grow it. Like she mentioned, she had the
Right.
hey, we can scale up. Like,
Right.
but then it was like, for what? I'm going to
Makes
create
sense.
so much more work. And then I become a slave to the business. And I kind of I think she's done a fantastic job of.
There's a happy medium. It's like your income grows, your work grows, and at some point it plateaus or it's the diminishing returns are not there.
Yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying?
More is not more.
More
Just
is not more.
For what? Like, what's
Yeah.
the? You
So-
may-
Yeah. So with kids, like you said, you had no sitter at all. I can't even.
No, but
Imagine
Did you have house help? Like
I didn't till I think later. We had someone clean like every 2 weeks. Is that what
Oh,
you mean?
okay.
Like I think after the fifth
twice a
kid.
month.
Like no house.
Someone would come
manager.
clean the house.
But I remember feeling that pull though for
Right.
work, like feeling like I should be doing so much more, but I just can't do it and frustrated. And then I finally like surrendered to motherhood. That sounds terrible, but
yeah.
I just realized that wasn't the season of my life to be working
Right.
10 hours a day. Like
Yeah.
it just wasn't working. And so, it all ended
That's
up
amazing.
okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Like the fact that you
kids
did
grow
that,
up
that's
so
amazing.
fast.
But he was the one that was like, give yourself a break. Like, cause I'd try to do charity stuff through the Dolphins too. And it was like, I had all these kids and he's like, this might not be the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe like wait till you have a few in school. You know what I mean? Cause I didn't care. I just felt this pressure on myself that I needed to do it all. And I didn't. I
And
couldn't.
you guys were like basically the base for the team because you stayed for so long. You
Yeah.
were just like, you're inviting new people in and out. Like,
Yes,
you were
we
there
were like
for
the
so long.
welcoming committee, and then they leave. I mean, we had friends that moved 4 times in 1 year. I mean,
Oh, wow.
we are really so lucky that we stayed in the same place.
John, you're saying your dad was in sports. Did he play for NFL?
No,
Oh, okay.
he played up to collegiate level at BYU.
Oh,
But
okay.
his brother did play for the Bills for 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buffalo Bills.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that was impressive. So I guess, how are you guys raising your kids? I'm just curious, like, first of all, that whole violin thing, are you solely aiming for sports
Or are you just like, hey, you got to try a little bit of everything? Is college important? Is school important? Are they like, how's your parenting?
It's similar. I mean, a balance. Like we do enjoy music. And so they all play piano. They took piano lessons. And
Do you think, because I know there are families that are solely just putting all eggs in one basket, just aiming for something. Are you more a proponent of like, you have to do a little bit of everything, or should you just choose one career and go at it? Or
when I'm doing something, just not sitting home and playing on the iPad or something active. But we're not pushing like, I know a lot of parents feel like, hey, my kid's going professional.
right.
And it is so competitive. Youth sports is so competitive now.
And it stresses the kid too at one point.
Right. They have to have the
right.
talent. And if there's talent, we'll cultivate it, but we are not pushy at all. Like John doesn't even say anything on the sideline. Like not a thing. Not like go. I mean,
What
we are
sports
so
do they
like
play?
soccer and football.
Okay.
But we did not push it. We let them choose. We are like the opposite of what I guess not most NFL parents, but I do think there's a common thread in the NFL that the parents of kids in the NFL were pretty assertive. Is that the word? Or
With their like schedule or
with their kids, like you're going to do this
Yeah.
and you're going to do this and you're going to have
Yeah.
this coach. And,
There's a lot of that. And I can
so we're
see
kind of
that.
the opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you don't push them.
Well, to be honest, the NFL or the football life is hard. It is hard. The mental and the physical on your body is really hard. So I'm not going to push that, but if they want to do it, we'll cultivate it, but you're definitely not pushing it.
I see.
But you're definitely encouraging them to do something.
Yes.
Yes.
You said like their phones or iPads. Do you have was there a certain age where you said, okay, now you can have it? Or what was
No,
your...
we kind of broke it out. Like during school, it was like you could have it on the weekends.
Right.
Okay.
They had access to it more during the summertime.
It's always a struggle. You guys know,
There was a
right?
constant, yeah.
I mean,
there was
yeah.
no,
It's easier now when they're older.
Yes.
Well, and then there's a thing like I feel like you can't just say no. You have to offer something else to it.
Yeah.
So I noticed like it's better to help them find a hobby than it is to suppress them from doing something, you know?
That's a good point.
So that's what I was wondering is
Yeah.
is sports or something that like, hey, like if they do more sports to do less.
no, exactly. Yeah. You're actively engaged in a good cause. Like if you're doing something, you only have so much time. And if you're actively doing other things, then that's going to minimize
Right.
the stuff we maybe don't want them doing as much of.
Right. Like we have one son, he can do a Rubik's Cube in like under you
Yeah.
can mix it up anyhow you
Yeah.
want and he can do it like in 15 seconds. So
Oh
he's
my
been in like
gosh.
competitions
fun.
for that. He just
No
had one
way.
like a month ago. So
cool.
it's pretty amazing.
Curious now, like let's talk about today. Christy, you still have an active blog, right? And John, you're retired. So we live in Nashville. We have a lot of I would say a lot of baseball players.
Yeah, we
And
have
other
quite a few in our
sports.
neighborhood.
Yeah. And I'd say a big number of them. It's sad to see a lot of them restart their careers after
Why are you
they were
saying
done. Because a lot of them do hard like construction work. And but a lot
So
of
they're
them
working
restart
hard.
their careers almost from nothing.
Right.
What was your transition like? And can you share a little bit like how did you transition? Like, I mean, I guess your wife has a business.
Well, I want to hear his answer because I actually have my own version of it. Go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
Did you choose
I wanna
to
hear your version.
retire? Or
Well, I mean,
did
he
you
was-
choose to retire?
Yeah,
or
I mean-
No.
No, yeah, I was, every time the coaching staff would get fired, you have new coaches coming in. And so you're trying to reestablish yourself. And there was a turnover with the head coach and I didn't survive that change. So
I mean, you were
He
30.
said it.
survived it 8 times. He had 8 different head coaches. So the 9th time he did not survive.
I was getting older and we had a younger kicker and punter and they
I mean,
wanted-
it's 39, right? You were
I was
39?
40.
40?
I was 40.
When you were done.
When I was done, yeah.
I mean,
because he played one more season at the Saints.
at 40, I mean, you're expected to be retired. But
Right.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I had stolen a couple of years there. I had expected that I was going to be fired a long time ago. So the
Right.
fact that I played up to 14, I think it was easier for me to transition out because I knew I was on borrowed time. Like I was like,
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm still playing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so that made it a little easier. And then also with her, like you mentioned, with her career doing as well as it was, there wasn't this pressure to have to go straight out and find another career. And I feel like we had saved well enough. And so I didn't go actively seek any job, 9-to-5 job.
Right.
I also liked, I was busy doing a lot of stuff with our kids.
Yeah.
I helped some kids snap. I do some nutrition and health coaching.
Oh, you do?
Oh, it's cool.
Some real estate stuff I was doing with a brother. So I had some stuff that mixed with,
Right.
just managing our homestead, especially with our new house. Like there seems like there's always something broken.
Yeah.
And you're,
Oh my
you're
gosh,
trying to
yeah.
fix something. So anyways, I'm not sitting down during the day. I'm pretty active.
Getting 20,000 steps
all
a
day
day.
long.
Yeah.
Do you do any work? Do you like help your wife out? With any
Oh, I
work?
miss cooking John. He did cook with me for a long time.
I do. Well, so this goes in hand with when I work with people as a kind of a nutrition coach, a lot of them are type 2 diabetics, and they do well on a
My brother is. Oh, he's type 4. Never mind. It's different.
they do really well on a low carb diet. And so I started
Yes.
doing this with them, developing recipes, trying to find substitutes for flavors and foods that they loved. And so I was coming up with a lot of recipes that went hand in hand with what she was doing. She has obviously, her website. And so
Yeah.
I started feeding these recipes into her website and working with her on her last cookbook with her low carb chapter.
That's
It was during COVID, and he would just be in the kitchen. We'd both be in the kitchen. He was doing the whole low carb chapter, and I was doing the rest of it. But it was really fun.
That's
Do
awesome.
you cook or you just?
Yeah. No, he cooked.
It was easier for me because I was just trial and error making the recipes, and then I was done. Like,
And I'm on the
she had to
computer
make them
looking
look
up
pretty.
the SEO for
Right.
this, low carb recipe. I'm like, yep, go do that one.
It's so funny. I love it.
It's funny that people think like all you do is cook, but
Yeah,
in reality, it's like that's like
no.
10% of the
Oh,
job.
literally,
There's
not
a
maybe not even
science
that.
to it. Yeah.
Are you still doing coaching?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
this nutrition?
You did today.
Sometimes more than others. I mean, right now, I'm working with a couple people. Sometimes maybe nobody. But
No way. Do you actually have like a social
No.
media page with that? Or
I
No,
don't. So
he
it's
doesn't
like
have
it's all
any
word of
social
mouth.
media.
So I don't like the pressure of like having to have this. I don't charge people.
Okay.
I actually pay a good amount of money
to help them.
To coach
help
But he
them.
loves it. It's his passion.
because I changed my own diet. That's where it initiated.
I see.
And I saw a lot of changes in the way I felt with my own inflammation.
Yeah.
And so I'd experienced it firsthand. So it's like, I love working with people and I love, people who are struggling to help see them find relief or a solution to these chronic pains and illnesses they have. So
Of course, isn't that how your blog started?
I was going to say the same thing. It's like giving back.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, so
Who knows?
that's
Maybe, give it 5 years, you monetize that. And
what I don't like about the monetizing it is I feel more pressure. Like
Yeah.
That's
I'm
true.
charging you
That's
money
true.
and what if like I don't see results?
But
Or what
here's
if
the
Yeah.
thing.
I don't like the food you're
Here's
feeding
what's
me?
going to happen. And this happens with everybody. When you buy something, you're going to actually follow through. You may see better results. When you pay for something, think about the courses that we took, the ones that we pay for, we always follow through. Somebody that keeps you accountable that you pay for, you keep yourself accountable because you're freaking paid so much for
At
it.
the same time, when they're like, how much do I owe you? And I'm like, no, I'll cover it. There's this accountability
guilty.
and this like, I don't want to say pressure, but like they
Oh, okay.
feel
To give
indebted
back.
to you. Like
Yeah.
you're paying for this. Like I'm going to do what you say. Like
yeah,
I'm going to
Okay.
show up to the gym because you're paying for my membership. Like that's,
that's
I'm going to
something.
go to the gym and
Then
I'm
you're
paying
working
for their
with the right
membership.
people.
If they don't show
Yeah.
up, that's like a slap in the face. So it's kind of like, I think it's a good like jump start for them. It kind of forces them out of their comfort zone
Yeah.
until I can get their wheels turning and they kind of hit their own stride and then they develop their own routines and habits. It can go either way. I see what you're saying with
Yeah.
Did you know that Miami is the capital of coaching?
Oh, really?
Literally,
Just
you-
any
Miami.
form of coaching.
Like, literally, I feel like
Sports,
you talk to anyone in Miami, like half the
That's
people are
true.
going to be doing coaching.
So we interviewed Pamela about coaching for women. She's 47 and she looks smoking hot.
She was on your show. I
Yeah,
remember
she was
her. Yeah.
amazing.
Beautiful.
She last weekend she shared how like she released like this like I'm getting like a bunch of people whatever in September, like September moms are going, kids are going back to school, you have more time, you can dedicate this. In September, beginning of September, over the weekend, she sold 50 spots for 3,000 program
Oh,
just in one day. And like, I mean, she shows the results. Like,
Right.
she's incredible, and like, she impacted me in so many ways too. I'm still working on it.
You look
But
great.
like, they're like, people are looking at me. They're like, "Where is that at?"
No, not at all.
Yeah, let
But
us
she's
know if you're
amazing.
gonna start.
And she's people are more
charging people.
accountable when they pay for it. They're more accountable.
Yeah,
They
people
just-
are more accountable.
But I mean,
that's right.
maybe you're working with the right people too.
Yeah.
It's like a different kind of category. I feel like
It's-
when it's
it's
health
like
related.
friends or friends
It's a
of a
closer
friend.
relationship.
Yeah.
What you're saying, I agree 100%. If it's like a stranger that's coming
Yeah.
in and signing
Right.
up that has no relationship with you, I could see how there's this distant,
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not paying for it. I'm not going. I don't care. But I think the fact that it is a closer group of people that I'm working with, that there is more of an accountability and
Yeah.
like a responsibility to act on what I'm trying to help them do because I'm putting forth some money on it.
Well, one year when Tim's brother's diabetic, so what we did is, because it wasn't working out a lot. Well, I don't know. We should cut this out or something. I don't want him to hear
Well,
this. Don't make this a short. I don't want him
it's
to hear
my
this.
family. You
I
gotta be
know,
careful.
but like, no, I'm nice. But we were like, Tim, let's just do like stepping challenge, like walking challenge. It's a simple thing. It's like when you're in a computer desk job, like sometimes you get 1,000 steps like a day because you will be glued to a computer. That's what he does too.
It's to motivate.
And I saw him on the
people.
watch, and I was like, Tim, we should just do walking challenge with him. So we actually created an Excel spreadsheet,
Oh,
and we're
wow.
like tracking every day because we wanted to be sure. But he did it, like 10,000
Yeah.
steps every single day. And the moment we stopped, it's back to 2,000 steps.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is sometimes you need like somebody to keep you accountable.
He
Yeah.
ran a marathon
Oh
last
yeah,
year.
he did. Like he's done
Dang,
several
he got-
marathons after
Got a
that.
few
He's trying.
steps then.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good. That shows a lot. Actually, it's interesting. There are a lot of people that you see, like really successful people that retire that actually don't stop working. It's just, and you realize it's money is not really the driving force behind it. It's just they just love serving people. And
Yeah.
I think that's what it is a lot of times.
Okay. Your biggest marriage advice?
Oh,
Like right now, kids are leaving the house. Help me, because I'm
Oh.
not necessarily suffering with marriage, but I'm suffering with kids leaving the
I
house.
know it's so hard. Our son just left to college last night, so I don't know if I'm the right person to ask because I'm kind of like,
Where did he go?
He's at BYU.
Oh, so he's local.
Yeah, he's local. But
How
we
often
might
will you
have to
see
tell
him?
him not to come home because he does like to be home.
Oh, okay.
Does he have to live on site?
Yeah, he's in the dorms.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't have any advice. I don't know. I feel like this is what we want though, right? Like I know you're struggling with it, but you've raised them their whole life so that they can
I
go be
know.
free.
Well, I tell him like they don't
This
have
is
to
it.
leave. They can live in your basement, but you
that
probably
would be
don't want
worse.
that.
That would be
Right.
worse. Failure to launch, like you don't want that. So they're ready. Your kids are very independent. I've seen them, and
No,
they
they
can
are.
cook.
That's my problem. They're too
I know.
independent. They don't want me right now.
But that's-
and they're still in my house.
no, that's props to you. You've done a good job.
No,
That's the whole point, right?
But like, okay, but what do you guys do with your marriage right now? The kids
Oh.
are grown up and like,
Do you go on dates?
Yeah, we go on dates.
She picked up tennis a couple years ago,
do you
No.
play together?
and so I've started playing more because she's actively in a league and she's
We're addicted to
Doing-
tennis.
Like a
So-
league? Like
I'm in a league. Like I have matches on Mondays.
No way. Wow. Okay.
But it's like all like people like your age.
Yes,
Other
all
women.
my age. I mean, 20 to 70. I mean,
Okay.
kind of.
yeah.
But
Are you good?
I'm as low as you can be. I just started, but I'm hoping to move up this year. You can move up like rankings. So we'll see.
Okay.
But I'll ask my son who's like 20. I'm like, I'm so stressed. Give me advice. He's like, you're a bunch of middle-aged women playing tennis. It's not that stressful.
He's like, she's going into a match stressed out. And he's like, Mom, nobody cares.
funny.
Nobody cares. So yeah, so he's picked up tennis. So we do that a lot
Are you
together.
in a league?
Am I
Don,
what?
Are you in the league? Or
No, so she's kind of I'm like,
Okay.
We did a doubles league.
she's
actually.
doing all
we won.
the
We won the doubles
organized leagues and functions, and she started to pull me in. Hey, you should try. There's a flex league coming up.
Yeah.
Right.
You should. So I recently just signed up, and I'm playing in these small like matches. So I'm just starting to get more into it. She's ahead of me as far as like the organized aspect, but we love playing together. Well, I don't know. Should I say playing together is also
You guys
We've
are
learned some things.
you can get. It can
I
get
have tennis Tourette's. I'm the nicest person in the world to him. And in tennis, I have Tourette's. I'm like, what are you doing? And I don't even know, but it like comes out of my mouth. So I'm working on that.
You're competitive.
No, I'm not. That's why I don't get.
a little
don't know.
bit. You have to be.
That's interesting.
But yeah,
We
so-
love playing together, but it can get like
Yeah.
It's a
Do
little
you come
bit
home
therapy.
frustrated? Like
No,
yelling?
not with each
it's,
other.
It's
No,
all
with
it's all left on the
ourselves. Yeah.
court, but it's
No.
like
Not
Tuck
at
it all out.
it's just because we know we're better than we actually are playing at the time.
Right.
So it's just
That's
like
funny.
But I remember 20-year-old Christy and 21-year-old John. It's like how much we've changed since then, and like how many like things we've tried together and new things.
Yeah.
You guys are probably the same way. No.
Yeah.
What would you recommend for
Yeah.
someone that's, let's say, just either about to get married? What are those signs that you see, what you saw? I think I just came up with that one right now.
Yeah.
That you saw in John, or John that you saw in Christy, that was like that were validated who they were.
Right. Well, I think you can marry someone and I thought I knew him and I really didn't know anything about him. So I do think a lot of it is luck, but there are also flags. Like you don't want him to have a temper. You want him to be, I think as long as like for him, God comes first, right? And just having like a good moral compass, right?
You have to have that foundation. Like if you both have faith in something together,
Something
like that,
higher.
that base, that foundation, that rock, then you're building, everything's building on that. So if you're all in together on that foundation, what you're building on top of that is going to be more stable. But if
Right.
if you don't see things the same way from the beginning, like on the most core things, which I think is faith, you
Faith,
gotta have faith in something. Like what's your purpose? What's like,
not knowing it, because we thought we knew each other, but do you really? How much do you really? You know, you think you do, but you don't. But we come from the same ends on like, money. What else? Kids, just how to raise our kids. We came from the same place, and that helps. Not that you always have to have that, but when you're coming from a closer place rather than both sides of the spectrum, it does make it easier. So when you're dating someone, I think someone who is selfless is
I think that's the key.
selfishness is the biggest
That's the key.
ruiner
That's
of
what we're
marriages,
getting to.
I believe. Selfishness, right?
it can't be tit for tat. Like you did that, so I get to do this.
You changed
It
that
can't be
diaper,
this constant, like,
or I changed it, so you have to
Right.
change it. I've seen a lot of that in relationships, and it never ends well.
Do you have that, or like,
No, not at all.
and say, I did the dishes last night, you do it? Or is it more of,
No, not at all.
both have to be willing to do everything all the time. Like,
And one thing
It's,
I'll
you know-
say is like when you're with a bunch of women, it's really easy to like rip on your husband, like, oh, my husband does this. that. And I would like to think that when I'm not in the room, he is respecting me and talking highly of me and not throwing me under the bus, right? And I do the same for him. Like we both know we're trying
Do
and
people
we're
feel
flawed.
like you're cheesy? Like
No.
because
No,
sometimes
I'm not like, oh, my marriage is so great. I'm not doing that, but I'm also
Yeah.
not going to be like, he does,
yeah, of course.
just ripping on him the whole time.
I don't really have a lot of things to rip
Yeah.
into him about.
Yeah.
Like most of the sometimes there are things we're so different. There are things that are frustrating. But I'm not gonna go to a group of women and expose
Yeah.
him. What's the point?
Right.
Like,
Same with
but-
guys. I mean,
Yeah, but I
But-
think women want validation for how they're feeling, so that's why they do that. But you know, I think it's a mutual respect. You guys have it for each other. I've seen it.
yeah, for sure.
most of the time.
But I think it really, like, to us, I'm just thinking how
Yeah.
we met. We didn't know anything about each other either. We got lucky, I feel like. But then there was that layer of honesty. I thought both of us were just very transparent with each other. And that's almost what I kind of felt from you guys. You're just honest. Like, you know,
There's like
you
a
knew my
sincerity
goals, my
to
goals.
you guys.
Sincerity, yeah. And I felt like that's how it was. And I think that's seems like it's one of probably the biggest foundations to, you
Yeah.
know, a good marriage. Just
I'm actually
honesty.
the more I listen to you guys, the more blown away I am because I had this vision of NFL life of like how everybody just kind of like there's a lot of selflessness. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Okay, English to both of you, and it's incredible. So I love hearing all that.
Usually there's stories about NFL that you do get to hear that do make it to podcasts.
Oh yeah,
There, did you
A
see
lot less humble.
I got some stories, not from me, but other people.
we should do another episode. NFL life.
Crazy.
We should do like NFL life.
It'd have to be anonymous though. I couldn't tell you who they were.
Okay, next time we
You
have
guys should do a
anonymous.
podcast about that. That
So
would
the
be great.
craziness happens. I'm not saying it doesn't because it for sure does.
Yeah.
There's a like okay, some of our friends are going through divorce, and in a way, like it impacts me in a sense of like I want to fix it, and then I get frustrated with the husband. He's okay with the husband, then I get frustrated. Like we start like almost like
We go through it also.
yeah, like it kind of flows over.
And a little bit, maybe it affects you. Yeah.
It's
No, I feel that we kind of had the same
yeah.
situation
Yeah.
where it's I mean I don't want to go into it into too detail, but I was kind of feeling things and he's feeling things and it did kind of flow over like because
Yeah.
I'm like on her side and whatever, you know.
Test you like, well, what do you think about that? Like, you know, you
start-
start
yeah.
talking about it and
Yeah.
Well,
Just
we
don't-
try.
That's hard.
We try not to,
Just
but
don't play tennis while going through this conversation.
just
The
don't get
tennis
involved.
threats will come out.
Just don't get involved. That's what I
Yeah,
learned.
don't get involved. Stay
As
neutral
little-
and supportive.
Yeah.
Right?
Like if you need some, well, it's also hard to be supportive.
It is when there's
Because then when you're supportive to one person, the other person, like it just gets so
Anyways,
messy.
yeah,
It
do
is.
not pick a side.
it is so messy.
That
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
We
No
just
matter what,
say
you're
we love you
losing.
guys and we wish the best.
Yeah.
no,
You
of
know,
course.
like
I'm going to do rapid fire
Okay.
questions. Who says sorry first?
me.
Christy.
I just can't.
bad one. The whole time
I'm the what one?
it's you. The bad one.
He likes to let things simmer, and I just want to I can't stand conflict, and so my whole soul goes into whatever we're talking about, and I can't live my normal day, so I just want to have it over with and be at peace.
Do you hold it? Do you hold it in later? Like, do you like?
No.
Do you say peace? Like, okay, I'm sorry, just to make peace
No.
for now. But then you kind of
No, not at
You
all.
let it go.
I'm all in on, as you'll see in most things in life, I'm all in or all out. So no, I'm
That's
I can't do
amazing.
that. Yeah.
Do you ever say sorry?
I'll get
learned.
there. I'll
And it's not
I'll
that he's
get
not
there.
saying sorry. I
It's
don't
just
want
not
to
at
paint
her
him as this
prote-
guy. He's not that
I'm
guy.
just
It's
joking.
just that he understands that sometimes emotions are high and you have to let them simmer. And I don't.
Yeah.
Women
I don't have time for
It
that.
doesn't bother me because I'm a man and I have no feelings as much as
That's
it's
not
bothering
true.
her. So I guess I can
He does have
wait
feelings.
longer.
Yeah.
Whereas as she said,
Like I feel like I need to digest and
Yeah.
process everything that's going on before I even say sorry. I don't know if that's you.
Yeah.
And so I usually don't say sorry right away. I just try to be like, oh, okay, this was confusing. Let me think about this.
But in different season of marriage, you would say sorry first. At the beginning of marriage, he said sorry more than I did.
Without
I was
understanding,
very stubborn.
without understanding exactly what's going on. It
Yes.
just-
Well,
Yeah.
but I mean, I guess that was
remember at
good
the beginning
too.
of marriage, I did the silent treatment, and then I'm like, oh, he's not getting that I'm being silent. Like that takes way too long. So
Too much energy.
I just realized that doesn't work. So
It doesn't work.
I tried that too, but I can't
Yeah.
be silent for a long time. Who's more outgoing?
me.
yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But John used to be a man of very few words. I feel like you're super social now. No, you can be. You've learned. Like he's naturally very shy.
Do you feel like the characters were ever turned, or
No.
you're naturally the way they
No,
were?
she's always been. She's really good with her memory socially. She remembers
Yeah.
names and faces.
I don't want to say photographic because I don't want to be
Uh-huh.
held to that. But yes, I will be like, oh, I saw you. I remember you from kindergarten, and I know
Oh
your
my
birthday.
gosh.
So it
That's
freaks
not
people
fair.
out. It freaks people out. So I have to slow play that because they're like, you're stalking
like you
me.
don't
I'm
know.
She's
not
an
stalking
introverted
you.
extrovert though,
Yeah.
because she puts on great. She's great in
Uh-huh.
social settings, but then afterwards she's drained.
I
Like,
am
I'll
the
go
same
in my
way.
room and I'm just like, not that
When
I'm
you
mad at people.
host-
I just have to like recharge.
I'm the same way.
Are
When you
you?
host, you want to hide after
Yeah.
some time.
Yes.
I'm surprised by that for you because I feel like you're so outgoing.
Oh, she gets too
I
much
get,
people.
I
She's
get
like, now
so
leave me
drained.
alone.
Like
So-
because I feel like I'm always have to like when we host, you always like you're the one catering to
You're
people
on.
loving. Yeah, you're on, and I just need to like even we have people stay with us very often. I'll hide in a closet and just sit there and like clear out for an hour to like.
She has a big closet though.
It's not that big, but it has a window.
I've done a few of those.
Because I can't. Then I get irritated with like the smallest things. If I'm drained, I need to recharge.
At least you know that about yourself. I feel like the more we know ourselves, then we can do that and recharge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's not fair to anybody. And it's not to be snappy or anything like that. Favorite comfort food for both of you?
Chocolate
Or,
chip
like, separate.
cookies. Chocolate chip cookies for sure.
apple fritter.
Yeah.
Oh, yum. You're going into that
We
season.
should have named each other's. What you name his and you name hers.
Tim's is chocolate. I don't know if it's comfort food, but it's his
For
chocolate.
breakfast. I saw that the other day.
I ate
Every-
a whole
every
bar
meal.
yesterday.
You what?
I ate a whole bar of chocolate yesterday.
He eats a bar a day.
No judging here.
Yeah, thank you. It has to be
She's,
dark
she's
chocolate.
thinking it was just a bar.
A bar?
Just one.
bar.
But I can't do sea salt, sea
Seas?
chocolates. I feel like that's too
rich?
Not enough chocolate in there.
He likes dark chocolate.
Like it's not rich enough.
Oh my
for me.
gosh.
You don't think so?
He doesn't like caramel.
What if you eat a whole pound? I've eaten a whole pound in like
It has to be
few
dark
days.
chocolate. But
Okay,
that's-
good
that's-
to know. I'll remember that for you. Tell me
Of course
birthday.
you'll
I'll
remember
remember
it.
that.
Good
When we went
memory.
to Belgium, it was his favorite trip of all because
Oh, yeah.
we stocked up on
they
chocolate.
know how
It's
to make
expensive
chocolate.
still, but
They know how
Yeah.
to make chocolate. Okay, so for you, I don't know. Why are you doing this to me? Oh, gummy bears.
That's when I travel in the airplane. It's not like
Good
I
to
eat
know.
them.
Good to know.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
It's like my security blanket on the flight. I don't know why
I
it's so
mean,
weird. Like I
comfort
buy
food.
them
That is.
Pretty
every
blanket.
time on the
Yeah.
flight. Papi seed bulachka.
Oh, that's right.
Bulachka.
Bulachka is
What
a papi
about
seed
her
roll.
jar of poppy seeds?
she loves puppy
What is
seeds.
that called?
She
Is that what it is?
loves
Papi seed
puppy-
filling?
Yeah.
So
I'm like showing my husband. She's eating it with a spoon. It's like
I
literally
would
a
not
jar.
pass the NFL test for drug test.
I know. You would for sure fail.
Yeah, she loves the
But you
pastries
know-
with puppy
You
seeds.
know, actually, the more of it I eat, the more of it I crave. So then I was like, oh, wow, there is drug in it. Because like the moment I stop, I'm totally fine. But then like if I start eating, I crave it more. And I was like, dang, this is not good. This is like a drug at this point.
so
So
funny.
yeah, I love puppy seed stuff.
That's true. Yeah,
But it's like Germany, Ukraine, part of those countries, they love puppy seeds.
they understand you.
Who cooks more often?
I do.
Christy.
But he cooks a lot.
Do you think it's because of your career, your blog, or you were who cooked more when you guys first married?
I did. But
Oh, okay.
he cooks a lot for, I mean, not
For a guy.
for a guy. I didn't
is
want
what
to
she's
say
trying to
that,
say.
but that's what I was thinking.
When you host, you probably grill.
Yeah, he grills.
Yeah.
Does smash burgers or
Oh, okay,
that's nice.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Who's more goofy?
No, yo. Depends on the day. He likes the game. Anytime
There's
there's
not a lot of goofiness going on on either side. But
fun, you're more fun.
that's
Yeah, when we
that's
host, we do
different.
like challenges and
Games,
prizes
yes.
and games. So
You're
he's the guy.
more goofy. The answer is
Oh, okay.
Christy, but
All right.
not because she's a crazy goofy person. She's
Yeah.
just I'm so
So who organizes the games?
John does.
Really? Like
Yeah.
all the games?
Yeah,
You should see their
he-
games that they do. I'm going to show it to you
I
next
know.
time.
Okay,
I
It's a
watched them all.
problem. It's a problem.
Really?
Kidding. No,
Do you
he'll
guys
buy a
host
huge
New
Plinko
Year's?
machine from Costco for a game. What?
Do you do New Year's parties at your house at all?
We've done
do,
them. We
yeah.
do. I mean, any holiday, we're pretty much doing it in party.
That's awesome because that would be so fun for
But
New Year's.
sometimes we're like, I'm tired, but we still do it. I don't know.
I'm gonna ask John for games next time
Yeah,
we host New
for
Year's
sure.
because I host New Year's and I can never think of games. I
Yeah.
hate doing the games because
Yeah.
do you feel drained after the games? Because you have to
Yeah.
shout the loudest.
Oh,
You're
he's like running everywhere. Yeah.
it's exhausting.
yeah, I enjoy it.
Oh, okay.
It is exhausting, but I'm doing it because I enjoy
You
it.
like
Yeah.
it?
Like it's
Okay, that's cool. Well, I think one New Year's I hosted all the games too and hosted the people and I was like, get me out of here.
Well, you're running everything. That you had too much in your.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that's the last one. I almost asked the crime one again. Where do you shop? I always like to ask for your clothes.
I am not the person to ask.
Well, you shop somewhere.
I literally everywhere and nowhere.
do you
I
have a
don't
favorite
like
brand?
shopping. I want someone to just show up and give me
Oh,
a
okay, so
beautiful.
you're not a shopper.
I'm not a shopper.
Amazon is. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
Amazon,
where you're.
Loft, whatever. I mean, I'm the worst person to ask. Don't ask.
If you buy a lot of stuff on Amazon, you should be sharing it on Instagram.
I should, but I don't think anyone
That's another
wants to wear it.
secret to our successful marriage is
What?
she's not a
Spender.
spender.
I'm not like
she doesn't
materialist. Yeah.
shop.
Yeah.
She's not buying
Yeah.
frivolous things. She's
Just makes
Well,
the money.
okay, then how
Yeah.
do you spend money? Like, what's your
that's a
what's
good
your
question.
splurge?
I don't know.
trips. I mean, she likes to. That's not even.
Do you do spa?
no? She
facials?
hates, she does not like
Obviously
spas.
not.
No, your face is gorgeous.
No, I
That's
will
why I
every
asked.
once in a while, but no. I mean, I really don't. Tennis, I used to buy myself a skirt every time I won because I was really bad. But now I'm a little better, so I can't do that because I have a lot of skirts.
Cool. Where did you buy your skirt?
Just Amazon or Lulu or wherever,
that's so
wherever's
funny.
cutest.
I love
But
Yeah.
who buys your clothes, John?
My clothes.
Yeah, you who pick him? Who picks them?
Neither
Sorry.
one. I don't buy a lot of clothes.
We are not fashion forward like you guys.
Well,
I
I
buy,
What,
I buy
like
my own,
H&M?
my own clothes, but it's
okay, you choose your own clothes.
few and far between.
Where do you
Like
shop?
I don't
You're
choose
tall.
my clothes. I don't.
Just online.
Really?
Are there stores for like tall people, or you just like you still wear normal people?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't go to a store. It's just anyone who's carrying like a
Online.
bigger size, like a tall
Yeah.
size.
Oh, okay. I don't know where people shop. For tall
We're not
people.
good shoppers.
We're not.
Don't ask us.
Okay. I'm always curious because we
Yeah.
had somebody that was like, we interviewed somebody from Miami and they live like in this hustle and bustle, like flashy life. Actually, you lived in Miami.
Yeah.
And so how did that work?
girl, people would ask me where I bought my stuff, and I mean, I'd be like, you don't want to
TJ
know.
Maxx,
You don't want to
Ross.
know.
That's funny.
But he was saying also
But
that he shop at
you do
Amazon.
have to feel like you have a lot of events that you have to be fancy for. So yeah, I'm Nordstrom Rack. I'm like the worst. Don't ask me.
Okay, so what is your guilty pleasure then? Tennis?
Probably food. I mean, we go out to eat and we're like
Cookies. That's
one of all
her-
the appetizers.
That's funny. Yeah, I told him, I was like, I'm going to go buy cookies for you guys. And he was like, they work out. They don't eat. I'm like, no, they eat cookies. I see them eat
love
cookies.
That's my I'll die eating cookies.
Okay, that's it from me.
That's cool. I really appreciate you guys
Yeah.
making it out here. You guys are an amazing couple. And like I shared, Natalia often talks about you. We look up to you guys. You have a wonderful family. So thank you for coming out.
Yeah, and keep sharing what
Thank
you guys
you.
are sharing. I think it's inspiring and good to see people that are thriving in their marriage. And they're like, after 20 years, it's very rare. So keep sharing what you're
You
sharing.
too.
Thank you.
Try.
You're welcome.
All right, we did it.